Hey everyone, this is Bethany Chapman with PNW Nutrition. I am a sports dietitian and certified mind body eating coach, and my mission and passion is helping athletes and active individuals fuel for performance while also creating a nourishing relationship with food, body, and life. So that is my ultimate mission and goal in all the work that I do. And today I want to talk to you about 3 simple tips in terms of saving time and money with meal prep, because I think this is a big one and the foundation for success. So we wouldn't go out on a road trip without first thinking about where we're going, where we plan on stopping, what we want to see, what we want to do, where we're going to stay, all the details, right? So the planning piece is really, really critical to set you up for success. And sometimes that can feel a little cumbersome. So 3 things that can be really helpful just to kind of ease that approach each week in terms of meal planning, and things that I have found really work well for me. So, the first is planning out meals ahead of time. So, thinking about what are a couple of breakfast options, what are a couple of lunch options, dinner, and snacks that I want to have this week. And it's really helpful if you create a list of your go to items, whether you really enjoy incorporating stir fry regularly, maybe tacos, maybe a specific type of wrap or something like that. What are kind of your go to options for those meals? Because it really helps if we have things on there that are things that we make regularly that are just we know like the back of our hand. We can throw them together really quickly. It doesn't take a lot of time and mental energy. Sometimes it's great if we have a little extra time to incorporate some new recipes, right? Get some different flavor profiles, try some things that you haven't tried before. But in general, keeping things somewhat consistent, maybe with a few different fresh things for the week. So you're not taking a lot of time in terms of that meal planning and prepping, because that can make it feel overwhelming. So that is tip number 1. Think about and also open up your cupboard. So tip number 2 is making a list. So being able to look into your cupboards, figure out what do I need for those breakfast options. Maybe I'm making a frittata and I need to look to make sure I have eggs, I have the veggies that I'm adding in. If I'm adding in maybe some turkey or some sausage, something like that, make sure what do I need to make those dishes and what do I already have. And this might actually inspire you to realize, you know what, I have some broccoli that's going bad in the fridge, and I'm going to make some stir fry, maybe some beef and broccoli, first recipe of the week, so that I can use that up and it doesn't go to waste. So, this creating a list portion is really important because it allows you to look in your cupboards to make sure that you're not buying food that you already have available, that you're not wasting food that needs to be used up in the fridge. So it might actually adjust a little bit once you look into your cupboards and figure out, ooh, actually, I should really use up this specific fresh produce. Or maybe it's, I'm just going to add it to the frittata, right? I need to use up this broccoli. I'm going to add it into my breakfast frittata. Maybe I don't need to grab a different veggie that I was planning on adding in because I have veggies I can already use up. So that's a big piece. The list also allows us to stay focused and on task in the grocery store. When we go into a grocery store and we have no idea what we're making for that week, it's very overwhelming. There's all this food. We're oftentimes kind of piecing together, buying a variety of different things, but we come home and we're like, I don't know what I'm going to make out of this. I didn't really have a plan. And some people are really good about throwing things together last minute, but if you have that plan, it just makes things so much easier. It's going to save you time and money at the grocery store because you're not buying a variety of different things. Food's not going to waste. So always think ahead. What do I want to have for this week? What do I have in the cupboards already? And create that list before even stepping into the grocery store. And then tip number 3 is, how do I cook and prepare food to eat multiple times, right? So this saves a heck of a lot of time if we can think about, and this will look different for different people. Some people like to chop up their veggies for the week, have it chopped in the fridge. Other people like to just cook off some extra protein. So say I'm making a stir fry and I cook up all the chicken that I have in the fridge and I use part of it for the stir fry, but then I save the rest for another or other meals later on in the week. So in the summer, I love to do this with grilling off a whole bunch of chicken, different flavor profiles. That way I can make salads, I can make wraps, I can make sandwiches. Maybe it's throwing it in some stir fry later in the week. And it just really eases the amount of energy that we're spending preparing, because usually the protein takes a little bit more time, right? We have to think about defrosting it. We have to think about cooking it. It's a little bit more in terms of cleanup because there's a little bit of a higher risk in terms of food contamination and things like that. So that's one of my favorites. Also, if we're making a dinner, I just make way extra. And that way we have lunch the next day or the next couple of days. So if I'm making pad thai, maybe it's making or doubling the recipe so that we have lunch the next day. It saves on time in terms of cleanup. We're not cooking every single day, which is really helpful for us. So we have some nights where we're not cooking and we can just warm up leftovers in the fridge. And that is a huge help. So those are my 3 tips. If you have some tips that you want to add below, some things that work really well for you, these are the 3 that really stuck out. I wanted to keep it super simple so that you can create some action items and put some implementation in place this week, just with these 3 simple tips. So again, to review, first one is planning out your meals for the week. What are breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack options? Create a list. That way you have it on the fridge and you don't necessarily have to say, hey, on Monday I'm having tacos, on Tuesday we're going to make stir fry, but you can just look at that list and figure out, okay, maybe I don't have as much time as I thought I had to prepare dinner tonight. So what's something quick and easy off that list that takes me 15, 20 minutes to put together and I can eat fairly quickly? So plan out your meals ahead of time, create that grocery list, look into your cupboards, figure out what you need before you step foot in that store. It's going to save you time and money. And then third, how do I cook once and eat multiple times? Whether it's cooking off protein, whether it's cooking or doubling a batch of a recipe, it's going to save a ton of time. So these are my time-saving, menu planning, money-saving tips, just 3 of them this week. Keep me posted and let me know if there's any that you implement. All right? Have a great day.